Hi, Michaela Harris here. I want to take just a few minutes today to show you how you can be outranking your competitors online and growing your business. So first things first, I want to talk about your website. I do like that it's very easy to navigate. You do have a shout out to the owner here. I do like that you guys have been in business for over 40 years, servicing the Montgomery area. It's very nice. One recommendation I have is that when Google crawls a web page, it looks for about 1,500 words of good descriptive content. Anything more than about 2,000, you start getting into where they think you might be spam. But having a web page correctly laid out and making sure you have 1,500 words of good content with good keywords throughout that content is really important. And I'll explain what a keyword is later. But you also want to make sure that your images are saving as keywords. The next thing is I do notice you have quite a bit of services here, and then you also do have several locations. And typically what I recommend is to have your location pages separate so that they can rank for separate areas. So service areas and locations should function as mini home pages so that they can rank for each specific area you service separately, which is going to ultimately bring you in more traffic to your website. The next thing is having your service areas listed separately, or your services, I'm sorry. Having your services listed as separate pages instead of just having a list, and having descriptions of those services, examples of what you've done. That'll allow you to rank for other keywords in that area. And I'll show you all of that in just a moment. So the second most important thing other than a website is having a Google business profile, which I see that you have one, which is great. My top recommendations for these profiles to get them to rank in the top 3 of the map section is that you have citations, which are directory sites that list your name, address, and phone number, that you have plenty of geotagged images that save as keywords. You have reviews from as many of your customers as possible, which I see you have 32, which is great. And you also want to make sure you utilize as many of those 750 words to get a good detailed description of your services, and throw in a couple good keywords in that company description as well. The goal here is to do more than what your competition is doing in order to rank in the top 3 for whatever keyword you're aiming at. So when a potential customer searches for, in this example, Tree Service Montgomery AL, they see this first page of Google, which includes the top 3 businesses in the map section here, and then also the organic URLs, the first page of those. So 9 out of 10 people will never make it to the second page, and most people are going to go with whichever company is easiest to find, and they'd rather do that by going straight to a website rather than through a third-party site. People do use these third-party sites like Angie's List, Yelp, all of those, but it's easy. The easier you make it for a customer to find you, the more will go with your services. So I do see that you are in ranking number 1 for this, but for other services and other keywords, that's not always the case. And then when you get down here to the organic URLs, you want to be as close to number 1 as possible, because the further down you are, the more the percentage of people clicking on you starts to decline. So you are down here, but you're not in the top 3. If I take and compare your website to your top competitor, which in this case is Arbor Pro, if I pull their website up, I can see that even their website is not doing everything it could for them, which means they're beatable. They don't have 1,500 words. They don't have a lot of content on their homepage at all, and not all of their images are saving as keywords. So that's just a couple things that even they could improve on, but that tells me that they can be beat. So if I take a look at the statistics behind each of your website, I can compare them. So basically, with your website not ranking in the top 3 for a lot of searches, it's not really bringing you in a lot of traffic. Now, this organic traffic rating, I want to say, disclaimer, it is a ballpark number. It is not exact. The next thing, you don't really have a lot of backlinks and domains or any good organic keywords. This UR and DR is the power and trust rating that Google gives it, and this number goes up with the higher quality backlinks you have and the more of them that you have. but backlinks are just other websites that are giving you a shout out. So they're basically linking back to your website. These backlinks need to be strong and relevant, not spammy links. So if we take a look at what their website is doing, you can see here that theirs is currently bringing in quite a bit of organic traffic. Like I said, ballpark number, but it is bringing in quite a bit where yours is bringing in nothing. But their UR and DR are also low, which tells me that not all of their backlinks are the most powerful. And again, they can be beat. And the last thing I want to mention is these organic keywords. These are what I mentioned that needs to be throughout your content, and I'll show you why they're important. So for someone searching the same thing I did, tree service Montgomery AL, you can see that that gets a volume of 300. That means about 300 people are searching for that term every single month. And again, you go down here, Montgomery tree service, essentially the same thing, just written a different way, is also bringing in 300 searches every month. Then you go on to see tree trimming, tree removal. They're bringing in their own volumes as well. So the goal is to go out after as many of these buyer intent keywords as possible. And like I said, you can go after by having location and service pages that are actually are separate pages with different content. You can go after different keywords and increase the amount of volume of people that are coming to your website by ranking for different keywords. So as you can see, there is huge potential for growth. So if you have any more questions about how to go after all of that traffic, please don't hesitate to reach out and we can make a plan to reach your goals. But otherwise, I hope that you found this information valuable, and I would appreciate a few lines of feedback if you have the time. So thank you so much for taking the time to watch.